All right, so how did we go from this to this and have the whole family out here finally? Take a look. What is it, buddy? Here comes a taxi. Look at that crazy charging thing. How's your movie?
Good. How much longer, Dad?
Well, here comes the rain. Well, good afternoon, everybody. It is March 17th, 2020. It is St. Patrick's Day. It's about 12:30 in the afternoon. Obviously, you see I got a new thing in the garage here, and it's a long story, but here's what happened. You know, we moved back to the desert. We bought our shop back, and we had our little priority list. One was to buy a house, get settled there. Second was to get Mom a new car, because she's been driving her car since 2012, and it's got 200 and almost 40,000 on it. And then after that, we would goof around with a camper or another RZR. As I had mentioned in past videos, we had more fun as a family in that RZR than we did all of us on quads, etc. You know, camping, toys is not my whole life. That's about 5% of my life. But I just choose to document these fun times to share with you guys, to bring you along, and for us to look back and just be fond of those memories. The next thing on the list was to be Mom's new car. And we were going to wait about another 6 months after summer and then flip around, sell a couple cars, get a down payment, get Mom a nicer car. It all started when Colby and I were camping on the last trip that you've seen. I thought, you know, let's try to get one group camp going. So I invited two couples whom we've camped with in the past, and I decided I'm going to rent a trailer and we're all going to meet out at Glamis and just camp, and I'll ride the quads, and one couple has a little side-by-side and the other couple has some dirt bikes, and we can mix and share and just have some fun. So I sent out a text, and one couple was for sure, the other one was like, we're going to try to make it happen. So the short version of the story is that plan started when I was camping last with Colby. Fast forward a couple weeks, I'm on a date with my wife, and she says, basically starts talking about a side-by-side. We could rent one while we're there so we can have one for the day, but then they wouldn't allow anybody under 13 to go in the side-by-side, so that put Colby out. So we weren't sure what we were going to do, and she says, you know, I bet one day you're just going to show up with a brand new one. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that. We're saving for your car. That you're next on the list. You've needed this car for years, and thank God we can do this in a few months. And she said, well, you know, we really had the most fun as a family when we had that RZR. And I said, are you telling me to buy a RZR? And she said, well, it would be a lot of fun to have it on this camping trip coming up, so we could go out with the other couple in their side-by-side. We could take people on rides, etc. So on the way back from our date, she drove home, and I got on the phone, and within a few minutes nailed down a deal, and we picked one up. So now Mom's car is on the back burner for about a year. Thankfully, I have the means to keep it going at the shop and stuff, and it has been a very reliable car for the 240,000 miles. So with all that said, this is what ended up happening. One couple made it. The other couple couldn't make it. They were really obligated with their kids' college and school and stuff like that. But here's the video of our first trip as a family in over 5 years out of Glamis. So here we go. We are going to take 3 quads, not the ATC, and the RZR. This trailer came up for sale about a month ago. Guy wanted 22. I got it for 18. Went all through it. All new bearings, lug nuts, wheels, and tires. 10-ply tires. Did all the lights on it. Got them all working. And I have used it twice. I went and picked up the RZR with it 100 miles away, and then I brought it to the shop to get everything done. So we're going to load and see how this goes. In the dunes, most people run a steering tire up front and a traditional paddle tire in the back, like this picture here. And I've done that on our 2015 RZR, I did that. But I noticed that if we were in some really soft stuff and we had all 4 people in there, you click it into 4-wheel drive to kind of get up around some of those bowls, and I could just feel that front end kind of pushing and not really grabbing the dune like I thought it could. So I saw somebody with a set of these, front and rear, these mini little sand tire paddle things. These are called SS360s. Sand Slinger, I think. I went with a set of these this trip around. I'll give a full report on these once we get there. So for now, I'm swapping them out. That's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna stick them on here. So what I gotta do is, because of my bed rail over there, I can't go any further left with that rack. So I have to hang this quad off the side, and then when this tire comes up, I gotta hang a left real quick, see? So here we go. All right, here's another problem we gotta solve. At the dealer, they had this big wide aluminum thing they just laid up there, and I drove up with the RZR. But I don't have a big ramp like that. Now, I could back up to my hill and just drive the RZR up on the hill, drive it right down onto the trailer, and that's how I unloaded it when we got it here. But I really wanna see if this works. These are rated for 600 pounds. So I'm guessing that's each. The RZR weighs 18, 17, 18. So I'm guessing the rating applies to this hinge, the weakest point. So I'm thinking if I cut these in half by laying those up there, strapping them to the trailer, ooh, that's kind of interesting. Think that's gonna work? When the front tire gets up, it should drop, right? But then when the rear tire climbs, this is gonna hit the bottom of the RZR. So that means I have to put the hinge above the pivot point here so that there's no weight pulling those up. So let's walk up them now. Okay, these don't do a wheelie. So I just want to see if it works. So it's either going to work or it's going to be good footage. So here we go. I saw the ramp doing something funny under there, so I'm gonna have to watch this back and see what it was doing, but it felt smooth. Hopefully it worked. Maximum load capacity, 600 pounds. Is that each? Or is that as a pair? Well, I guess if you only owned one of these for like a dirt bike, it would be each. Because I know that quad's like 450 pounds, and I'm 200, so that's 650. So if it's a pair, I might buckle these. So I stuck those floor jack deals under there. We're gonna give it a whirl, see what happens. She's a little cold. Well, that worked.
Hey, I'm finally back in video.
All right, this is nuts. So because we don't have a camper, right? We're renting one. They're dropping it there for us. We got to bring all of our food. We have clothes going in 3 of those. Mom's packing right now. We got to bring our fuel, gear bags, barbecue, tools, carpet, easy up, coolers. We got to bring all this stuff that normally is already loaded in your camper. So hopefully we don't forget anything.
Yeah.
All right, so we pretty much got everything in there. That's last minute. We've got all those containers full of food and stuff, our bedding in there, fuel. We have, we're expecting tons of rain as we drive tomorrow, so our gear bags are inside of trash bags. Everything's buckled down, not going nowhere. You ready to do it?
Yeah, I'm excited for this.